All right, we're back on CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Mike Scott, joined now by Patty Behrens, who is a family and marriage and family therapist. What's the LT?
It's licensed marriage and family therapist, but I actually do individual relationships, and families. So
okay,
that's basically.
How'd you get into this biz?
Oh, that's a good question. It goes way back. I've actually been licensed, or I've been doing the counseling for about 8 years, but prior to that, I did what's called lay counseling. I was certified.
Lay counseling?
Well, you go through a certification program, but you're not really licensed by the state.
Okay.
Because you have to get your master's, and then you have to do a minimum of 2 years plus 3,000 hours under a supervisor practicing.
3,000 hours?
Yes.
How long does that take to knock out?
Minimum of 2 years, usually longer.
Yeah.
Because that'd be quite a bit. But actually, way back in my 20s, after I got my bachelor's degree, I had thought about going back and getting my counseling degree, and someday. However, it was through life circumstances. I actually volunteered for doing some lay counseling as well. But a little over 15 years ago, when I found myself actually on a vacation, we just had the vacation thing, but a tragedy. My first husband died suddenly.
On your vacation?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
you probably needed some therapy after that.
I did.
Just someone to talk to.
I did, but I did not utilize that. Suddenly my life was turned upside down, and I was a widow, a single parent of 3 kids, and so everything fell in my lap. At that time, if you would have asked me or said, in fact, some people said, "Why don't you go to counseling?" I said, "No, I'm not going to do that."
I don't need that.
No, I don't need that. And I kind of had a different perspective on counseling. We see, television doesn't always portray counseling in the best light. It's always like, oh, how do you feel about that? And that's not what it is at all. I later found out it would have been very beneficial for me. And, I turned around and started doing the thing that I used to make fun of. And that's why I like to take this opportunity just to kind of break some of those myths about counseling. When people think, oh, I'm just going to go there and sit and talk about my feelings. I don't want to do that. And it's so much more. It really, really is. And every counselor, therapist is different, has different strategies, different ways they help people. So first of all, I think it's real important that people have a good fit. Not every counselor is going to be a good fit for a person, and the person's not going to be a good fit for the counselor.
Can you tell when they walk through the door if it's a good fit?
I recommend, actually, if someone's looking for therapy, counseling, is to talk first on the phone.
Get a feel for them?
Yes, I offer a free 15-minute consultation because I want to make sure I'm the right person for that client and that they're the right person for me. I like to find out what they're dealing with, what they're working on, what they need help with, what it would look like, what the outcome would be if they got what they wanted.
And you can tell in 15 minutes.
Pretty much. I get to the point. There's ways to do that. That's one thing with counseling. You can get to the direct point and find out where people are. And there's some areas where I say, I'm probably not the best person for you. I'll give you some referrals.
Every interview we have on the show, I can tell within the first minute or two whether it's going to be a good interview or whether it's going to be like pulling teeth. So far, they've all been good today. But yeah, you have to get a feel for what you're doing, and if it doesn't fit, you move them on, right?
That's
Send them
right.
to somebody else.
Exactly. Because realistically, a counselor or therapist cannot be an expert in every area. They just can't.
Yeah. Don't you get bummed out listening to other people's problems all day? Seriously.
I'll tell you what helps me is I know that they can get better. When they have no hope, maybe I can give them hope. And it's something to hang on to, and it's very rewarding to see people's lives change. They have improved relationships. They get over their own struggles. And I think that's kind of the misnomer with counseling. People think, oh, well, I'm crazy if I go to a counselor, or something very tragic is going on. And it's not necessarily the case. I actually commend couples and individuals when they come in just because they're stuck. Life happens.
Yeah.
And we get places where we have struggles. we get stuck, and sometimes it's just a short amount of time to help get some tools, techniques to get unstuck, so to speak.
And it helps to talk to somebody who is totally removed from the situation.
Absolutely,
right?
because you get advice from friends, family, input, and it gets really tangled and unclear, and it's hard to clarify. So, absolutely. And actually, for myself, one thing that I really try to do is gear it towards my clients. You know, what's going to help them, what's not. And I utilize a lot of different techniques, a lot of different strategies. One thing that I do keep up. I'm not a expert on it, but I do keep updated on the latest brain research, which is fascinating because they're actually seeing techniques, strategies that help in situations. So I get certified, I go to trainings, and I utilize those when they're warranted, when that's needed.
All right, Patty. So how can folks get in touch with you?
Okay. Well, Patty Behrens on the internet will come up, but I do have a website, and I would encourage them to look that up. It's counselingfresno.org. Okay. Also, just patty@counselingfresno.org is my email. So that's another way. But if you just Google Patty Behrens, even if you don't put the MFT,
Sure.
I will come up.
And we've had the information on the bottom of the screen
Oh,
here.
excellent.
Also the whole
Excellent.
time, so.
Yes, yes.
Nice meeting you.
Well, nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Nice being here. Thank you.
Do you have a couch or just is it chairs?
People aren't laying on the couch. I mean, but no.
Some people probably think
Yes, I do have couch. I have chairs. People can sit where they want.
Whatever
Just to
is
be
most comfortable.
It's kind of like sitting in a
What about a
living
hammock?
room.
Got a
no,
hammock?
I don't have a hammock. Under a nice palm tree.
Think Papa's on chair?
Yes.
Patty, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, more of Central Valley Talk straight ahead.